What's up, you guys? Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I just wanted to sit on the floor, shoot a quick video. I don't feel like editing something elaborate. I don't want to get everything all like super well lit and make some professional looking video essay or professional by YouTube standards video essay. I'm just like, no, let's just talk because I think I'm actually pretty angry and I don't get angry that often. And so I'm like, I gotta lean into this and feel what I'm feeling. I process stuff out loud. Maybe that's what I'm doing on camera right now. So if you didn't know, the ACM Awards are doing these like new decade awards, and they are, I don't really know what the point of them is. The ACM Awards air in April, but they've just been kind of announcing on social media for the last few weeks, so and so wins Album of the Decade or Artist of the Decade. So here are some of the awards thus far. Song of the Decade went to The House That Built Me. Single of the Decade went to Cruise by Florida Georgia Line. Artist of the Decade went to Jason Aldean. However, Artist Songwriter of the Decade went to Chris Stapleton, which is a hilarious distinction. I feel like it's just kind of shady to Jason Aldean. Like, Musical Event of the Decade went to Meant to Be by Florida Georgia Line. Breakout Artist of the Decade went to Florida Georgia Line, so they've gotten 3 of these. Then this past week at the Opry, they surprised Luke Bryan with an Album of the Decade award for Crash My Party. Now, the ACM Awards, I don't have a ton of respect for them. I feel like they're really corrupt. There's always voting blocks that get really involved, and there's so much politics that go into getting your artist to win an award, and a lot of the people that make the biggest artistic impact are basically ignored by the ACM Awards. I think the CMAs have a little more credibility, but really I almost trust the Grammys the most when it comes to voting on country music because it's the people that are least in the groupthink of the Nashville industry. The ACM Awards also often seem to bend rules and change when you can get nominated for stuff. There was a whole debacle with Justin Moore getting nominated for Best New Artist, even though he shouldn't have been able to be a few years ago. So I just don't really have a ton of respect for them in general. And then these awards, I don't understand why they're handing them out now. I don't get what the point is. It just seems, I don't know, almost to add to the punchline of Nashville being self-congratulatory to itself. But something happened when I saw the Luke Bryan Award, and it just really annoyed me because Crash My Party isn't an interesting album. It was huge. I understand that they're saying this is, represents what had the biggest impact in country music. And it had 6 number 1 singles on it. It sold 4 million copies. And I would say that is a good summation of the sound of country music. But to me, it's a bummer to take one of the big respected organizations in country music and not even include artistic merit or risk-taking in an album making and incorporate that into the meaning of the award. I mean, if you wanted to bring in big commercial successes, I would say the other 2-3 albums that you could consider in this would be Traveler by Chris Stapleton, Chief by Eric Church, and maybe even Play On by Carrie Underwood. Those were all big sellers that I think also had a pretty high degree of quality. I mean, I would personally say Chief is the best of those, but something about it really bummed me out. And I was talking to a few people and just was reading some discussion online about Luke Bryan winning this award, and there were so many people saying, well, that album was a big deal in country music. And, Luke Bryan's been good for country music. He sells big shows, and so, you got to respect it, which is a very, I'm not saying anything against capitalism, but that's a very capitalistic view of art. It's like, well, it's big, so we got to respect it. You hear that kind of mentality all the time in country music conversations. And as someone that tries to be critical and tries to be fair, it drives me freaking crazy. Now, Luke Bryan has some good songs. I think Drink a Beer, which is on that album, is a great song. I think Fast is a great song. I think Luke Bryan is a talented performer. I think he's very cheesy, but I think for the most part, his music is incredibly safe and boring and lifeless. I mean, this new single, it's such a nothing burger. I feel like it's for music fans that don't really love music. And the fact that country music, there's this strange fealty that the industry feels, well, you gotta respect something because it's big. There's something real creepy about it, culty about it. And I think I realized in this week that I'm pissed about the fact that we use people's success and the fact that they are a big figure in the country music industry as a qualifier for their quality. I feel like you can see this really clearly in the Christian music world, where you will encounter people at church or something when you don't like an album that are like, yeah, but it's a Christian album. Or like, oh, that book's not perfect, but he's a Christian. And you're like, well, that shouldn't be a qualifier for the quality of their work. All that's doing is just embracing mediocrity out of some loyalty. And Nashville's a loyal town. I get that. People smile through their teeth. They don't want you to say anything bad. Even if something is obviously bad at an award show, i.e., that Chrissy Metz performance from a few weeks ago, everyone stands and claps. That's just how it works, and I get that, and that's always going to be the case, and that's fine. That's fine. But sometimes as music fans, I feel like Nashville has successfully gaslit us and convinced us that the right thing to do is be completely uncritical and just respect someone's popularity because it's already there. And what that leads to is an unquestioning audience that is able to be steamrolled by the powers that be, that can just get force-fed stuff through radio and through the big labels. And there's a way in which we're supposed to kind of nod along and admire that. And I can be guilty of it, and I just feel like that illusion got shattered this week. And I think what made me mad this week is not even the fact that that album won Album of the Decade. Whatever. I actually really do understand that it kind of does typify the sound of the past decade of popular country music, but it was really the people defending it, that it deserves that award, that I was talking to. They just started to drive me crazy. I was like, no, we don't have to buy into this narrative if we don't want to. And I'm sorry to be a vanity monster, but as this channel gets big, there's like a gravitational energy that's pulling this channel and Nashville together. Whoa, this guy's getting a way bigger audience, and he talks about country music, and do we want to work with him? And I'm open to that. I really am open to that. At the same time, I don't want to get like brainwashed into thinking that only the things that are coming out of major labels are the big things in country music. It's not. I think things are getting way more interesting and way more diverse, and there is this attachment to the systems and the Nashville money-making machine that people have, and I'm almost making this video to remind myself that don't get sucked into that. Don't get sucked into it, and that's not to say it can't produce good things, because there are so many good things that come out of Nashville, and I feel like I named those things, but I've just been going a little crazy lately because some people think I'm really negative. Some people think I hate on the industry a lot, and I really don't. I love country music a lot. I love it. It's my favorite genre. That's why I made a whole channel about it and talk about it. But there is this toxic culture that can exist within it that says you must pay respect to the industry as it is, and we must just love everything that has been popular and sold a lot. And when you do that, I just think you are letting foxes into the garden. You are letting giant corporate interests run the whole industry. Like if you go to the Spotify Hot Country playlist, that whole playlist pretty much sucks. It all sounds the same. It's playlistable, snap-tracky, boring, substanceless songs that are all about just setting a vibe, that are all about blending in, that are all about getting played at a tailgate, and they're not about moving people. Isn't that what we're all here for, to get moved? Do any of us need to feel like life is more monotonous, that we need to, pay fealty to the vanilla sound of what so much country music is? There's beautiful, excellent stuff out there, and beautiful, excellent stuff is even coming out of the major labels. I think we're actually in a pretty good spot right now, but where I take issue with a lot of other country fans is that somehow we are just supposed to accept everything put in front of us, and I don't want to do that. And I can't believe how fired up I am about it. Tyler Childers was recently interviewed in GQ, and he had a quote that said, "It doesn't hurt my feelings if you listen to shitty country music. That's your fault. What I consider country doesn't make it the end-all be-all, but if you ask my opinion, that's what you're going to get." I need a little of that Tyler Childers energy. I need to keep it. I don't want to play too nice with the industry and fall into that strange groupthink that just because the industry is producing something big means I have to love it and I have to appreciate it. I think I do a pretty good job of that already. I don't hate on anything. I think I have integrity. When something's bad, I say it's bad. When something's good, I say it's good. When I have a reason to say, yeah, I'm probably being easy on this because I know someone involved, I tell you. I'm not trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. Like I said, I get it. I'm annoyed. This video, why am I mad? Do I feel misunderstood? Like, what am I really mad about? What am I really mad about? Because I've made this about Luke Bryan, and it's not about Luke Bryan. I think I'm mad that I feel misunderstood sometimes by people in Nashville that want to say I'm hating on their stuff, when really, I'm not. And that's been hard for me to get over, but I'm learning not to take it as seriously. Maybe not, since I'm making this whole video, but I think I'm learning to not take it as seriously and to maintain my narrative that, no, what I do ain't that serious. I literally just review music and talk about my thoughts on it, and I love country. It's like it takes 1 ounce of any negative emotion for Nashville to freak out and kind of label you as someone that's a hater. And I'm just not. And maybe I'm trying to declare that to myself more something right now. It ain't that serious. I gotta stop freaking filming this video. Feel good, like I processed something. I don't know. Talk about whatever. This video is so dumb. I don't even know if I need to post this. Okay, bye.